Now at 10, authorities in Kansas find the body of a former detective dead from a gunshot wound. Plus, firefighters in Oswego discover victims of a fatal house fire. And a vacant house fire in Joplin turns into a rescue mission.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Find a former Kansas detective scheduled to go to trial today, dead from a gunshot wound. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach, and this was the scene outside the home of Roger Golubski, who died from that gunshot wound. Golubski was scheduled to appear for his trial for assault this morning, but his attorney says he was, quote, despondent over media coverage. Edwardsville police officers responded to Golubski's home due to a reported gunshot. When they arrived, they found the former detective dead on his back porch, and police did not say if the incident was a suicide, but they did add there were no indications of foul play in the death of the 71-year-old. The Justice Department alleges Golubski sexually assaulted 2 teenage victims over several years in the late 1990s and into the 2000s. A lawsuit claims KCK police, including Golubski, covered up the crimes. Today's trial is the first of 2 federal cases against Golubski. The second involves a sex trafficking ring at a KCK apartment complex. Well, today, Governor Mike Parson confirmed the state of Missouri will carry out the death sentence of Chris Collins. According to a statement from the governor's office, the execution will be carried out tomorrow night. Collins confessed to abducting, raping, and killing 9-year-old Rowan Ford before throwing her body into a sinkhole. This will mark the 4th execution in the state of Missouri for 2024. A house fire turns fatal for 2 southeast Kansas residents. Firefighters responded to the fire in Oswego, Kansas last night. Once on scene, crews discovered a fully engulfed single-family residence. Responders discovered 2 adult victims inside the home. They attempted to revive them, but the individuals died from their injuries. The Kansas State Fire Marshal has been called in to investigate, although local crews suspect nothing suspicious at this time. In Joplin, emergency crews also responded to a house fire last night. This fire was on South Byers Avenue. As firefighters searched the home, a woman climbed out of the upstairs window and nearly landed in the arms of a firefighter. She said she had been sleeping in a closet and she was taken to an area hospital for treatment. Well, meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, it was a chilly day today. Temperatures only reaching low 40s, and this was about noon today. We got up to about 42, so we stuck around the low 40s until we started to dip down into the 30s by a couple of hours ago. Now, our low this morning was 23 degrees, but it's just going to continue to drop as we head into tonight and tomorrow as well. So our temperature trend, we got up to the low 40s again on Sunday, dropped down to the 20s last night, and then we got into the 40s. Now, as we head into tomorrow, temperatures are going to drop even more than that. Currently, we're in the mid-20s already. 26 in Joplin and Pittsburgh, 25 in Yates Center. Pretty cold. Then we're just going to continue to get down into the low 20s to upper teens for our overnight low, plus a little cloudy as well. But I'll have a full forecast coming up.
Well, there is fallout in Washington over President Biden's decision to pardon his son. Hunter Biden was facing sentencing in 2 criminal cases. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
President Biden touched down in Angola Monday, a day after granting his son an unprecedented pardon. During a holiday event at the White House, the First Lady defended the decision. But even some Democrats were surprised by the president's reversal of his previous position.
Disappointed in terms of the signal it sends to faith in our American system.
The full and unconditional pardon clears Hunter Biden of all crimes he has committed or may have committed between 2014 and 2024. He was set to be sentenced this month after being convicted of felony gun charges and pleading guilty to federal tax fraud.
President Biden, I think, is giving Hunter Biden as much protection as he can.
American University professor Jeffrey Crouch compares the pardon to that granted to President Nixon and says it could pave the way for more controversial pardons in the future.
It makes it easier potentially for President Trump to come into office and abuse the clemency power himself again, because now he can argue that presidents from both political parties have done it recently.
On social media, President-elect Donald Trump called the pardon an abuse and miscarriage of justice. He also hinted that he plans to pardon those convicted in connection with the January 6th Capitol attack in 2021. President Biden justified the decision in a statement, saying his son was singled out for political reasons. The special counsel who investigated Hunter Biden said there's no evidence of vindictive or selective prosecution of the president's son. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Well, Hunter Biden was set to be sentenced 10 days from now on a felony gun conviction in Delaware and sentenced again days later on tax charges in California. Missouri's top cop announces plans to restrict abortion access despite a recent constitutional amendment. That's coming up. And Freeman Health System hits the pause button on a scheduled change of leadership. Missouri's Attorney General pledges to enforce some laws restricting abortion despite a recently passed constitutional amendment expected to likely undo the state's near total ban on the procedure. KOAM's Samantha Walker joins us in studio to break down what this means.
In November, voters passed Amendment 3, which removes the state's abortion ban, but allows it to be restricted or banned after fetal viability, except to protect the life or health of the mother. In an opinion to incoming Governor Mike Kehoe, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey wrote that his office will continue enforcing a ban on abortion after fetal viability. Missouri statutes define viability as that stage of fetal development when the life of the unborn child may be continued indefinitely outside the womb by natural or artificial life supportive systems. In his opinion, Bailey says that while statutes prohibiting abortion prior to viability will no longer be enforceable in their entirety, the state can and will enforce laws related to parental consent and cases where women or children have, quote, unlawfully been pressured to abort. Bailey says the 5 statutes in Missouri restricting abortion remain enforceable in circumstances where a parent has not consented to a minor obtaining an abortion. But he says this parental right does not allow for the pressuring of minor abortions. Bailey says, quote, nothing in Amendment 3 provides a right to pressure others to obtain an abortion. The right of parents to forbid minors from obtaining abortions should not be misunderstood to somehow imply a right to force abortions on minors. He says the same goes for adults coerced into abortion, specifically by abortion clinics and physicians. Bailey also says the U.S. Constitution permits the AG and other officials to continue enforcing these statutes under various circumstances. Bailey says, should Amendment 3 be changed or repealed in the future, that would automatically restore authority to the Attorney General and other officials to resume broader enforcement. He says the amendment does not remove these statutes from the books, so there would be no need to reenact them in the future. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
What change of plans for the incoming CEO of Freeman Health System, the man named to succeed Paula Baker as president CEO of Freeman Health System, will no longer be taking the job. Tom Keller, who was joining Freeman after serving as president and CEO of Ozarks Healthcare, was slated to start with Freeman the week of December 1st. In a statement, a Freeman spokesperson verified that Tom Keller will not be assuming the position as previously announced. In the meantime, Paula Baker will remain as the president, CEO until a new officer is seated. And Baker has led Freeman Health System for the past 13 years. She announced plans to retire earlier this year. Well, Freeman's eligibility partners are helping people in the community gain access to medical coverage under the Affordable Care Act. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
To alleviate some of that worry and stress on the individual is a big, large goal.
Stressful is how the Freeman Eligibility Partners Coordinator describes the feeling of not having health coverage.
When you have a medical emergency in your family or you become ill, that stress compounds trying to, how are you going to get the bills paid?
To help, the Freeman Eligibility Partners in Joplin are assisting people in the community through the process of applying for the Affordable Care Act. They will help explain the plans in layman's terms and answer questions.
United, Mo Health, and Healthy Blue are some of the MCO providers for the Medicaid. Gives them a full round of support while they're here with us, or if they just come in from the community and they're unsure and have some answers of where to get some assistance on those things. We become facilitators through the state with them, and helping them reminders. Our homeless population, trying to keep them with coverage. You know, the winter's coming, illnesses come quickly.
And help them navigate the provider that they choose and make sure that the prescriptions that they're taking are covered on those health plans.
Clients don't have to use Freeman as their health care provider, and if you already have an ACA plan, the Freeman eligibility partners are still there to help people reevaluate and update their ACA plan.
It's always good once a year to go and look at the application process, update your income. It could change your tax benefits. It could reduce your premiums.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Well, the service is free to anyone, not just Freeman customers. The information to contact them for an appointment is on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Lindsay returns with a complete look at your frosty forecast. And a little later, a mansion in Coffeyville, Kansas puts on its holiday best.
Well, it was a cold day today. Temperatures only reaching the low 40s. And by now we're already in the 20s. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We've got light breeze out of the north, so it's going to give us a bit of a wind chill tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. So current temperatures about 26 out in the Joplin area, Pittsburgh, 25 in Parsons, 28 still in Nowata and Grove, so not so bad, 29 in Jay. But you can see that light northerly breeze that's going to continue until tomorrow. Winds do shift tomorrow, so we have a warmer daytime, but our morning starts off incredibly low. So we've got a few clouds in the area as well. That's going to possibly keep us up maybe a little bit warmer by a degree or two, but really temperatures are dropping so low tonight. 19 degrees in Joplin, Miami, Oswego, 20 degrees, Chanute, Yates Center, Stockton, 21 in Bella Vista and Jay. And you can see winds have already started to shift by the morning hours. We're out of the east now, and then by midday we're going to be having a southerly breeze, and winds pick up as well, gusting up to 20 miles per hour. So temperatures warming up, low 40s, 43 in Joplin, 41 in Pittsburgh, 46 in Miami, and then temperatures that night will only drop down to upper 30s to low 40s. So we have that warm up ahead, but not before it is going to be extremely cold in the morning on Tuesday. So this is our future feels like, so that's kind of pairing our wind chill temperature with the winds due to our actual temperatures. So it's going to feel in the morning. 15 degrees in Joplin, Pittsburgh, 16 degrees in Girard, 17 in Miami, so it's going to feel pretty cold. But like I said, after that warm-up starts to take effect, then we'll see a bit of warmer temperatures Tuesday afternoon and into Wednesday. So by 2:30 in the afternoon, we're going to see the southerly breeze gusting 15-20 miles per hour. Winds pick up as well as we head into Tuesday evening, gusting 25 to even 30 miles per hour. And that continues until the morning hours on Wednesday. So 7 a.m., we're going to have a strong southerly breeze out of the south, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. But as that front passes, so there you can see winds are now out of the northwest about 5 p.m. on Wednesday. So we do have that switch coming up, and then temperatures are going to drop following that back down into the 40s. Now, outside of just our temperature changes over the next couple of days, we've got a low pressure system that's moving. It's a little cut off, but it rejoins pretty quickly. And as that moves into the area, we have a slight chance for a rain shower Saturday morning. But as of right now, showers are trending a little bit further south into southern parts of Arkansas before it even gets close to our area. So we may not see anything through the weekend, but following our weekend, we've got another low pressure system that's going to continue to deepen. If it follows this trend, then we see the possibility for rain showers Monday and snow on Tuesday. Now, it'll be more of a wintry mix, so Tuesday, but we have a 10% chance. We're still a ways away, so I'm going to hold off on that. But temperatures over the next couple days starting to warm up after our very cold Tuesday morning.
All right. Well, while you are shopping online or anywhere, don't forget about Toy Box Tuesday. Tomorrow, we will have volunteers manning the phones during our noon, 5, 6, and 9 o'clock newscasts. This is your chance to make Christmas a little brighter for every child in the 4 states. Speaking of holiday spirit, You can catch some Christmas cheer tomorrow at the Joplin Christmas Parade. The city of Joplin is not allowing parking along Main Street, and that starts at 3 p.m. Main Street from 15th to 26th will also close at that time. And then at 4:30, the closure expands up to Main and 2nd Street. More than 100 entries are expected in this year's parade, and KOAM will be included. It starts at 6 p.m. at the corner of Main and 15th. Well, the Brown Mansion is set to sparkle with holiday magic as it hosts the 2024 Candlelight Tours. And these tours are a long-standing tradition, offering visitors a chance to step back in time and experience the holiday season in a way only the Brown Mansion can provide. KOAM's Lonnie Walton takes us to Coffeyville for the story.
We are getting ready to celebrate our 15th annual Candlelit Tours at the historic Brown Mansion. It was built in 1906.
Darla Thornburg is the tour guide at the Brown Mansion. She says the Browns were some of the richest people in Coffeyville back in the day, as they were leaders in the gas industry. Now, things are looking a little shabby.
We did just get a new roof, but we have lots of repairs to do to our windows. We have some efficiency issues. We just had a furnace go out.
This is why Thornburg and the Historical Society of Coffeyville decided to throw a candlelight tour event. They say it's still a magical place.
Beautiful home. It's so unique. All the furnishings in the home are original to the Browns, except for Christmas.
Thornburg says there's over 130 trees in this 1906 Brown Mansion.
We have trees on 3 floors of the Brown Mansion. Trees for young people. We have a Taylor Swift tree. We have a Harry Potter tree.
And it's those young people, Thornhart says, are the future of keeping this historical building alive.
Also try to bring in young people so they learn to appreciate the history.
For Thornburg, she says it's such a great place, she can't even choose her favorite room.
Every single one of them.
Reporting in Coffeyville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Tickets are on sale now if anyone wants to join in on this Brown Mansion magical event, and all proceeds stay in the heart of Coffeyville. Well, coming up in sports, a Pitt State football player enters the transfer portal, plus a pair of local teams face off in the CJ Classic. Brock Baldridge has the highlights from the game and more.
As high school basketball gets up and running around the 4 states, a handful of local teams face each other in tournaments nearby. Tonight, McDonald County faces Nevada. Round 1 of the CJ Classic begins tonight. A couple of Big 8 conference opponents square off. Each team finished with a winning record a year ago. In the first quarter, the shot is blocked by Dakota O'Brien is there for the putback. McDonald County leads early on. Later in the first half, nice pass here sets up Hallie Richmond. She led her team with 8 points tonight for Nevada. A few possessions later, Dakota O'Brien goes back to work, this time inside the paint. Tough bucket here, probably should have been a foul. She led her team with 19 points tonight. We head to the second quarter. This game is tied up as Grace Anderson knocks down the three-pointer, and then Nevada never really looked back from that point on. We go to the second half now. Good ball movement here for the Tigers, and then it's Kaylee Holcomb who fires away from three-point land and hits this one. And later it's Holcomb who's open in the corner. She drains another three. Nevada goes on to beat McDonald County. Lady Tigers win the game 32-25. Over to men's college hoops. NEO men's basketball team had a successful Thanksgiving weekend. The team won all 3 of their games in the Three Rivers Classic. Now tonight, NEO plays in their final scheduled home game of 2024. The men's basketball team faced the Tabor College Blue Jays. NEO wins this one with ease. Golden Norsemen win 119-57 over Tabor College. NEO will take a road trip to face State Fair Community College this Saturday. The Pitt State football season came to an end when the team lost the Harding Bison a week ago. Now the Gorillas will have to reload for next year as one player has officially announced his departure from the program. Pitt State tight end Will Huggins will not return with the Gorillas next season. Huggins is entering the transfer portal as a grad transfer. This year, he was named to first team All-MIAA tight end. Huggins spent the previous 4 seasons with the University of Kansas before his arrival at Pitt State. He will enter the transfer portal with only 1 year of eligibility remaining. The Big Ten Conference announced it is fining both football teams from the University of Michigan and Ohio State after post-game fights broke out in the middle of the field following a game this past Saturday. The Big Ten says it violated their sportsmanship policy. The conference has issued a fine for each school in the amount of $100,000. Over to pro football, the Denver Broncos take on the Cleveland Browns in Monday Night Football. The Broncos, well, at the last check here, they currently lead the Browns 34-32. Denver holds the last wild card spot in the AFC playoff picture, so close game there in Denver could mean a lot, potentially, if who would the Chiefs play later. But going back over the college rivalry thing, I don't condone fighting, but it is kind of fun to see when, college rivals, get a little scuffle.
I wonder how much the students themselves will be penalized. They have the fine.
Right. They have the fine, and obviously you don't want people running on the field, but it can be a dangerous situation. So I'm glad that, both teams got resolved, but it was across the country. We saw multiple teams, multiple rivalries, lots of scuffles going on. Yeah. So it's safe to say that college rivalries, I don't know if it's a good thing for the game, but it's definitely very entertaining.
Yeah, just remember to be good sportsmanship.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Every a four-state hero.
Well, a cold start to Tuesday. Temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s. We do warm up to mid to lower 40s, and then we're going to continue to warm up upper 50s by Wednesday, so it's going to be pretty nice, pretty warm on Wednesday. Temperatures drop again after a wind shift line as we head into the rest of the work week.
Well, before we leave you tonight, first we're going to ask Brock if he has a final sports note.
Well, I don't actually, but I do want to see what we're going to talk about here next, and that is Christmas lights.
No,
Christmas
parade.
Parade, even better. Yes.
We're going to give you a look from tonight's 45th annual Christmas parade in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Thank you for watching. We are going to see you tomorrow. Have a great night and an even better Tuesday. Don't forget, it's Toy Box Tuesday. Have your phones ready tomorrow at noon, 5, 6, and 9.